Today is Holy Saturday, and it's an important day in the life of the church. Yesterday, on Good Friday, we contemplated Jesus' suffering, his humiliation, his crucifixion, and his death. And during that, we contemplated our own sin that caused Jesus to go to the cross willingly for us. Tomorrow, on Easter Sunday, we're going to celebrate Jesus rising powerfully from the dead through the power of the Spirit and how he conquered sin and death for us. But Holy Saturday is kind of an in-between time. And if you haven't contemplated it before, I really hope that today you take a little bit of time to think through what Holy Saturday means. There's two things I'd like you to contemplate today. The first thing that I want us to be thinking about is what it must have been like for the disciples. They've been following Jesus, and just 1 week prior, Jesus entered Jerusalem as the King, the Messiah, coming forward, this great prophet. And on Palm Sunday, the people were rejoicing in Jesus entering Jerusalem. And then, by the end of the week, Jesus is crucified. He's dead. This person the disciples had been following for around 3 years, that they had given their life to, was dead. What should they be doing? At this point, they're hiding. They're scared that the Romans are going to come and enter in and seize all of them and kill them. And so today for the disciples is a day of sadness and sorrow, of not knowing what to do. Many of them had left their professions, either fishing or tax collecting. Lots of various people from various places had gathered around Jesus. And today, everything that they've been doing for the past 3 years is completely undone. Jesus, their leader, their rabbi, has been killed. And so today is a day that we should contemplate, first of all, what it must have felt like. Everything seemed to be over and done with. And these people were fearing for their lives. For us today, as we contemplate what it must have been like for the disciples, it's okay for us to be thinking about what does it mean to be following Jesus, this crucified Lord? Because to the world outside, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But we also live in light of the resurrection. We know that tomorrow brings Jesus's fulfillment of all the prophecies, breaking the bonds of death. And so we contemplate that. The second thing that I think it's important for us to contemplate today is that Holy Saturday is actually recited every single week when we say the Apostles' Creed. In it, we say that Jesus descended to the dead. Jesus descended to Hades. When we say that phrase, we're actually talking about Holy Saturday, where Jesus begins his triumphal exaltation even in death. That clause, he descended to the dead, is kind of strange. We don't really think about it. And there isn't a whole lot within Scripture that we actually see talking about Holy Saturday or Jesus descending to the dead. But in the few glimpses that we do receive, we see that Jesus went to preach and proclaim that he is now King and Lord over death. And through descending to the dead, just like we one day will, he is breaking the bonds of death for us. And then tomorrow, when he raises from the dead, when he shows the world that he is King and Lord even over death, when he receives the keys to hell, when we see that, we can rejoice with full hope and assurance that he has broken down the gates of death for us. And so those are the two things that I encourage you to contemplate with me today. One, that Jesus, he died, he broke the bonds of death for us by descending to the dead, but also contemplate what it must have been like for the disciples to be in this time of contemplating what's next, what's going to happen, and wait with bated breath for Jesus to rise from the dead tomorrow. I love you, church family. I encourage you to contemplate Holy Saturday with me today.